Hey guys, welcome back to another video from Shoot to Kill Outdoors. Today we're going to show you how to properly mount and level your scope on either a rifle or anything that you want to put a scope on. But right now I want to go over what is needed to do this before we get into the process. So first of all, you're going to need a scope, of course, and then you're going to need the hardware, which scope rings and the tool to use. Most scope rings use an Allen key. New scopes, if you buy them brand new, usually come with a tool to tighten everything down. Also, you want to make sure on the rifle here, you want to make sure the base or whatever mounting system it has is torqued down to the receiver, because you don't want to be shooting and then it comes loose on you in the field or target practice. And then the last thing here, and the best thing you really need to do this with, is a leveler. This is a torpedo style. Really anything will work as long as it's a flat surface and you can level stuff with it. So let me show you first of all, the main thing you need to make sure of when you're mounting your scope is that your surface that you're doing it on is level. So we're going to go ahead and set this down and show you how level this table is, and that's what you need to look for, is to make sure you can get the proper leveling out of your scope. So now that we have our leveler leveled with the table, we're going to make sure that the firearm that we're putting the scope on is leveled, and you want to make sure that you either put it on the scope base or find a flat spot that you can do this on to test whether or not your rifle is, or anything that you're mounting to, is leveled. Might take a minute, but so that means the rifle needs to come over a little bit. So we're going to adjust our bipod here. And that's another thing, you can either do this on a bipod or a shooting rest, whatever you have that's handy, as long as the rifle is level. Then we can start the mounting process. So now we got it leveled. We're going to go ahead and start with our rings. You can either, it doesn't really matter what position you have it in as long as it's comfortable for you. So I'm going to go ahead and mount it up forward. Just set these on there and tighten them down. We're not going to torque them down yet. We're going to do that at the last step. Finger tighten for now. Then now we're going to set our scope on there and put the top pieces of our scope rings on. Put our locking screws in. And you just want to screw them down just enough so you can still move the scope around inside the rings. Give them a few quick turns. Okay, now on the scope, this will work if you have a scope that has a flat topped scope ring or scope cap. And the thing about that is the turret here is basically vertical, and it will level your scope out because that's where the crosshairs are adjusted, at the vertical turret here, up and down. So you just go ahead and put your level on there, and it looks pretty close already, but we can give it just a hair more, and that's pretty dead center. Now we're just going to tighten our screws down just a little bit more, make sure that the level stays level. And it didn't. That's all right. Just get it to where you want it. And then we are going to tighten the back ones where it can't really move. We're not going to torque them down yet. And one of the reasons why we're not going to torque them down yet is because we're going to see if the scope is fitted to you. So if this is your rifle, you want to make sure that the eye relief and everything is set from how you're going to hold the rifle with the stock in your shoulder and everything. So now we're going to go ahead and grab the rifle, and I'll look down it and make sure it's fitted for me. And if that's perfect eye relief for you, then you're all set. So it looks like we got it in about the right spot for me. It only takes a couple seconds for that. We're going to go ahead and double check and make sure it's level again. We'll go ahead and put it down here on the table. Make sure that's level, because this is going to be our final adjustment, and then we're going to torque everything down. So the level was leveled, and according to that, we're zeroed on the leveler. So now we can torque down our screws. And here's the key for torquing. You want to go on a pattern. You want to make sure all these screws are equal forced torqued. So we're going to go zigzag pattern. We're going to go start from up here, go back, cross, and then back again. So I'm going to tighten about a quarter of a turn. Go across, quarter turn, back again. So you just do it the pattern. You can switch it up, it doesn't really matter as long as they're equally torqued. But you're going to have to go across and then diagonal again. So, and you'll know when they're torqued down because you can't tighten them anymore, and you just want to give them that one last snug push. You're getting there pretty tight. And the reason why we do this equally is because you don't want one side of the scope ring tighter than the other. Sometimes this Allen key gets stuck in there just because you're tightening it so much, but there we go. Round it off a little bit. We didn't have it all the way in there. It's all right. Okay. We're just going to give them that one last touch. Alright, now we're going to tighten the actual lugs down of the scope rings to the mount of the receiver. I'm just using our standard screwdriver, hand tightening. You try to want to get equal force on these also. almost there. Just make sure they're snug down because the recoil can loosen hardware. All right. So I believe we do have our scope done here and mounted, and we're going to just double check again. And we are still zeroed within the lines of the leveler. So everybody, I appreciate you watching our video. I hope you liked it. I hope this was a good way of you learning how to mount your scope. That way your reticle is not off or slanted. This will make sure that your reticle matches up when you look through the scope and it's leveled out. And you can make better shots that way instead of looking at a slanted reticle. So again, I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please hit the thumbs up button. We'll see you later.